The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. Why am I even here? Most people probably thought Eminem would come up with this. Actually, maybe I am made of chocolate. This is Max Shankroom. The trailer you're about to witness will take you back to a time when I was on TV, which means buckle up, people. Where we're going, there are no breaks.
Yeah, so I put the Oreo in the milk. Welcome back, everybody, to Mage, final season here on McStabber Studios. I am the Ravenous Archon, and before we catch up with our cabal, let's let everybody introduce themselves.
Hey everybody, I am Mama McStabber in Twitch chat, and you can find me on socials at Relindair, and I'll be playing Lydia Thompson, the fun-loving ecstatic that's ready to knock some heads together.
Hi, I'm Maddox, and I will be playing Arthur Light, a Euthanatos police officer who is totally in over his head at every turn of this series. Dear God, help me.
Hello, I'm Ivy Raven. I play Anita Maple of the Verbena tradition, and I help our storyteller Ravenous Archon edge his Oreo cookies and milk.
And I am Brad, Timber Brad 411 in chat, and I'll be playing Alistair, who is here to throw up, then throw down.
I loved every part of this introduction tonight. I think we could keep this mood. Last we left off with our group, Anita was driving around the city of Miami after having had a conversation with some of the other Verbena in the group in the city, as well as meeting Baron Samedi, Mr. Saturday Night. We got to see Arthur stuck in the Umbra with a Weaver spirit bearing down on him after finding out that his wonder is actually his avatar's sword. And we left off with Lydia and Alistair in the apartment dealing with his kind of crash from the boost that Arthur gave him. And that's, I think, where we're going to pick up. We're going to start off with Lydia and Alistair. The tea has been brewed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, both of you are sitting at the table.
And she pours a cup for him. Here, drink this. It'll help settle your stomach.
Alistair takes the cup and hesitantly looks at it. Not so much that he doesn't trust it, but considering how much he's been throwing up, he doesn't trust his body not to throw this up immediately. So he'll sip it slowly and just...
And it
just
almost has a hint of cranberry flavor to it. You definitely taste a little bit of ginger and cinnamon in it. Also, some lime juice in the tea. It's basically a hibiscus tea.
And yeah, Alistair is just quiet and drinking, and
Yeah, take small sips. That should help.
Look, on the periphery of Alistair's vision, you can see the kind of silhouettes of your brothers picking up, cleaning up after the whole kind of carcass of the dragon has been discarded around you. And sitting on the bed is just the image of your sister Sarah. And she's just smiling at you, directing, quietly. She just points at a scale or some claw, and the silhouettes kind of nod and go over.
while Alistair's watching this, I would imagine on the outside, like he's actually like looking where he sees his sister. And so he may look like he's kind of like staring off into space, lost in thought, occasionally making comments just like, don't have to be so glib. And it's just little like under, like, yeah, it just, he's staring at something you don't exactly know, and he'll respond verbally occasionally to whatever they're doing, but it's just, yeah.
Okay. And it's not you're in the right place for that. This is not something strange to Lydia. There's nothing that she can see, but there is little remnants, little fluffs of feathers that are in the periphery of your vision as well. Little kind of dancing dandelions on the wind. And every time that you try to kind of zero in on one, there's nothing there. It's all on the side, just on the outskirts. Do you have a TV on? Would you have a radio on? Are you guys?
She has a radio on.
Okay. There's a moment where the song is abruptly cut, and the announcer, the personality, kind of comes on, and there's a scoffing tone to him. He says, this just in, ladies and gentlemen, it seems like for the first time, we're going to get a hurricane out of season. Reports have started to come in off the coast of Puerto Rico. Winds are gathering. They're strangely out of season. As the information comes in, though, you'll be sure to get some of that right here on 96.5. And now we're going to hop over to one of the newer songs, and you hear a record scratch. The voice sounds a little older, and then you hear the song, the very energetic beginning to Belle Biv DeVoe's Poison come on. At any point during the song, Anita can come in if she'd like.
Anita probably shows up around the time the song is ending, so. But
When Alistair will back away from the radio, because the last time radios played music out of time, they exploded around him.
The phone rings once and then stops. And at the same time, Anita comes into the apartment.
I want to do like time sense on this to figure out what the hell is causing this.
Sure. What this would you like to focus on?
The radio playing music it should not be playing.
Okay.
Because that didn't even come out in 88, where Lydia's from.
It did not.
And she's like, what the hell is this?
That is much later.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. You have time 1. You're in your own sanctum, so it's only going to be difficulty 4.
Oh, no, I've got time 3, I think.
Yeah, but the effect itself.
Oh, that's a time 1? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's out. Yeah, because each effect level determines the starting difficulty of the effect.
Okay, and what's my difficulty again?
4.
4? Okay.
Yep.
That is 3
Simple enough.
successes.
Yeah, you are you are starting to see and feel the churning of something going on. This is definitely a song that should not exist in this time period. The weather itself, the hurricane should not be out of season. Like, you still have until June, honestly, to where May, at the end of May, beginning of June is when hurricane season starts in Miami, and it is not even Valentine's Day. Like, it is the 12th of February right now. The evening of the 12th. Tomorrow's the 13th. You are far from hurricane season.
This is messed up.
Do you think the last time this happened was the radio store?
After the song ends, does it go back to like the normal music?
You did.
All right. You hear the announcer come back on, and it's like, I hope you enjoyed that new cut. Here's an oldie but a goodie, Eddie Money, Baby Hold On, and it goes into a traditional song from the era.
Lydia's gonna turn off the radio.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's really messed up.
Can I try and look at the phone, because it rang only once? Is there anything I can do with time? Because I know Alistair's got like he kind of look forward and back. Is it possible to see, had someone been able to answer the phone, what would have happened with time? I think I have time 2.
Yeah, you have time. You don't have entropy, so you can't really tell what would have happened. But you can look to see which one of you two would have answered the phone, and it would have been Lydia.
Okay.
Hi, Anita.
hello.
Weird shit's going on.
Yeah, I guess we're all having it happen to us right now.
Something happened to you too?
Yeah, the old verbena in the city did some sort of ritual and like sent me somewhere for a second, and I met some interesting gentleman who told me that I had to make a choice. Either he sends me back, I never become a mage, or I never awaken, I never gain my powers. My twins do, or I stay here. And he was not as clear on the if I stay here, but it sounded like it was half threat that I die, but he said we all die. It was kind of confusing. I don't know. Something about a week of nightmares and this giant red eye. It was weird. That's all I know. Yeah. What's up? What's going on here? Sorry.
The radio just playing a song that I've never heard, and you know how much I like music.
Okay.
And
Like the kind of music that seems to make radios explode around me.
yeah,
Okay, that's not good. I mean,
Good news, I've managed to keep tea down.
good.
awesome.
Keep taking sips.
Now Alistair does.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't have to make a decision tonight, so I'm not worried about that part, but something's going on, and I think it impacts all of us potentially. So, not just me. I mean, obviously, we're all here, so something is going on, but I mean, wider scale, as it were. So,
This whole time thing is fucking with my head, and I've already I have had a day. So does that mean we don't meet you, so this doesn't happen?
he doesn't really say specifics. I don't know time. I don't have any skill in that. I'm just going to assume that it would be one of those situations where it's like, since I never awaken, you guys would never meet me. I would never come to Miami for the purposes I came here originally, etc., etc., etc. You guys would still do all of your stuff just without me involved.
I can't tell if it's this time bullshit or the withdrawal that's making my head hurt.
I mean, it's probably a little bit of both. Like I said, I don't know. His thing was very like take you out of it, but like didn't really specify what happens if I stay in it, other than the vague threat of an end. So,
But if we're just hear me out. If we're here to stop all of this horse shit from happening, and you take the out, does that mean then putting your kids in danger?
no, they wouldn't be old enough to take part in all of this, so they would have to deal with their things and the whatever. But I'm also kind of wondering if there isn't. I don't think this individual is being completely forthcoming with me, but I also think that our friend Wrinkle wasn't being forthtelling with us either.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, that's for sure.
I just, based on what this Mr. Saturday said, I don't think there's any going back for us.
Question. When she says Mr. Saturday, because that's the first time she's dropped the name, is there a way with my occult that I might know who that is?
Sure. Go ahead and make either perception or intelligence on occult.
I'm going to do the same.
The exact same roll.
Or yeah, either or.
Three successes. Oh, what was the difficulty?
6 is fine.
I got 3.
I got
Okay.
3.
Yeah. Mr. Saturday is a name that is usually associated with mythology as far as like the Voodoo Caribbean is concerned. It is usually the name given to Baron Samedi.
They had you talk to the Baron.
I suppose. Look, like I said, based on what he had said and based on what Wrinkle had said, I don't think there's any true going back for any of us. Even if I go back, Mr. Saturday wasn't promising me to actually go back. He's saying he was going to reset me so that basically my entire life never happened. Because I will never awaken, my life will still happen, but like to a point, and then it will just kind of continue on, as it were, the way it's supposed to happen. I don't think, considering how Wrinkle had to drag us here, I don't even think he can take us back to where we came from.
Yeah, no, I went through that door to ask him a question and ended up in 1992. So, yeah, I don't think he's got near enough control of the whole thing as he's making it seem he does, especially considering how fucked he looked when I went in and then how much more fucked he looked when I came out. Like, he's barely holding his shit together, is my guess.
It may sound cold, but I don't know how this stuff works, but I guess I kind of feel like maybe there is still a version of us out there where our lives continue on. But
Yeah,
I can't go back to that version.
I can't speak for anybody else, but it would suck if you left. And then Alistair takes a sip. Who the fuck is Arthur?
I haven't heard from him, but then again, I was just driving around some, letting the wind in my hair some.
Speaking Arthur's name into existence, we shift over into the Umbra, where we see the pattern spider bearing down on one Arthur who has, I don't think, ever been in the Umbra.
Doesn't have a lick of spirit to his name.
And there's a moment as it stops maybe 6 feet in front of you, and it just starts to vomit this webbing. And slowly out of this mass, you see a foot come out, and then a second foot, and then this silhouette of a gentleman emerges, and he kind of waves the spider away. Mr. Light. Who are you?
You just said my name. Don't
Right.
you know?
It's a simple trick of reading the mind. But we both know there's something strange up there, don't we?
Adjust the grip on the sword a bit. I don't say shit.
I've looked at every permutation, at every angle, and I've tried my damnedest to make sure that everyone that's part of this is here. And yet you've never been here before. Why have things changed?
Sorry. Who are you?
Apologize. My name is Daniel Byron Thatcher.
I attack him.
Okay.
This is the guy they're after. Fuck
Correct.
off.
Yep. Go ahead and make a strength plus melee.
Watch.
Ooh, that's bad.
Yep.
You are not used to wielding swords. You're a modern man, a cop who has guns at his disposal. And so the unwieldy weight of this blade, as you bring it in an arc, just kind of hits whatever concrete is underneath you and then reverberates so wildly that you have to let go of it.
Fuck.
And just kind of clatters to the floor. And he smiles at you, almost like he planned it.
If he's not moving, I'm gonna try and pick it up.
Yeah, no. And
A
he
little
actually
a little more pathetic than when
Yeah.
I was swinging it.
and he does kind of like, use his hand to motion for you to pick it up. You are so violent, Mr. Light.
It's a
Hardly
problem, and
becoming of your name.
it's probably a byproduct of being on the force for too long.
Mm.
But you are messing things up, Mr. Thatcher. You're messing them up bad. You should stop.
Me?
Yes, you.
Mr. Light, I've done nothing but try to protect us, our kind.
I don't believe that for a second, sir. I'm sorry, I don't.
I-
I've gotten it on too good of authority from many others that you ruin this city. And that's the exact opposite of what I want.
Mr. Light, I can't begin to imagine who has steered you in this direction, but I can sense the conviction inside of you. It burns bright. What if I told you that there is an ending coming, a week of nightmares, as it were, where everything ceases to be? Gone will be the vampires and their immortal chess game. Gone will be the were creatures and their centuries-old, bone-deep hatreds. Gone will be the fae and the color they bring to our otherwise drab world. And gone will be us, the awakened, the heralds of truth, champions of enlightenment, erased from the very fabric of reality that we have struggled against and held on to since our inception.
I'd say you sound incredibly pessimistic.
I'd say the same thing if I had not seen it for myself.
You saw a ending.
Correct? I saw an ending spread out around multiple versions of our world. But there is one, Mr. Light, one future where we do survive. Will you help me bring this future about?
Why would I do that? If you try and mess with the cycle, it just bucks back and tries harder to be itself.
And why? Why is that, do you think?
Because that's how it's always been.
Not how it has to be. We
Seems
are
to
the
be serving things
ones
fine.
tasked with the ability to play on the loom of reality, Mr. Light.
We're a bunch of children being handed loaded weapons. It's not the same thing, Mr. Thatcher. We have too much power, and honestly, as I look around at the weaver nest I'm in, I'm starting to think that maybe it's not worth having. So once again, I ask you this. Will you please stop tampering? Please. The regular people don't deserve what you're doing to this world. They don't. You're just making things worse. And believe me, I've seen some evidence to prove that.
Even if I stopped, Mr. Light, the other versions of me won't. Too many gears have been set in motion.
So you're a stubborn ass in every reality, then.
The only constant that I have seen in every future of ours is death. The restless always continue to exist, always have some input into what happens. So what would happen if we were to unseat the Masters of Death, Mr. Light?
You're an idiot. And that's saying something considering the academic you're supposed to be, but you're an idiot. Death, you are right, is the one constant we all have. And that's a good thing, Mr. Thatcher.
Galileo was called an idiot in his time for his theories.
Good thing you're not him.
I will be better than him.
Wow. Yeah, my mentor was right. All you hermetics thinking you're so great.
Of course, we were created by the greatest of all of us, Merlin himself.
It's just sad, Mr. Thatcher. It's just sad.
I am not a 2-bit villain trying to create a future for myself. I hope you understand that. I'm trying to awaken the world.
And it will come to that in time. You can't force these things.
That's where you're wrong. And he rips open a tear in the umbra. I hope that I can show you the world I'm going to create, Mr. Light.
I hope I never see it.
He steps through.
I start looking around for a way out of here.
Well, there is the tear that he just created. Otherwise, this is a very twisted version of downtown. The buildings do not grow straight. They are warped, curved, knotted. Some of them are massive structures of iron, just kind of with shards of glass jutting out of them and just the webbing of the pattern keeping them together. In the distance, you can hear the screech of something that sounds like it's in great pain. And as it does, the sky wobbles and glitches. And you can see that there is a kind of fog rolling in and the wind is starting to pick up.
Fine, I go through the fucking tear.
It is barely visible as you come out into the real world. You don't have spirit. And as the further away you get from it, the more it starts to vanish from your field of vision. It is nighttime now. looks to be maybe around close to midnight. The moon is already started to descend back towards the horizon. Cars are running back and forth. People are walking around. In the distance, you can hear the music coming from Bayfront Park.
Am I in the same place as when I left? By that
No.
payphone?
No, you're a few blocks away. You're closer to Biscayne Bay than anything else.
I'm guessing the sergeant has left by this point.
Oh, long gone.
Yeah. How far away am I from Lydia's house?
Walking, maybe about half an hour.
I start walking since I don't have a patrol car to go in right now.
Okay.
And my car is back at the station.
Back in Lydia's apartment, just as Bashir and the Cardinal twins are arriving, Arthur is also among the group that have gathered for whatever meeting you are setting up.
He looks very pale.
So
And-
does Alistair.
And has a sword.
It has a sword.
Interesting fashion choice, Arthur.
Got it recently.
All right. So I'm Lydia Thompson. She says it to Bashir.
He smiles. It's nice to meet you.
Pleasure. Daniel Thatcher is a big problem. He has basically been messing around with time so much that it's basically going to destroy everything. So she points to Anita and Alistair. The three of us were sent back in time from 1988. Not to destroy him or anything, but to get him in position at the appropriate time. For something even more powerful than us to take care of him.
Bashir looks overwhelmed, but he's just nodding. The Cardinals are on board.
Mhm.
They're in it to win it.
So that's the short of it. The fact is, in 2 nights, there will be a war amongst vampires in this city. There needs to be nodes infused with spirit placed strategically around the city that will summon werewolves. I already know of one location. I'm pretty sure Daniel Thatcher is going to be taking care of others. Because it was something he did.
Bashir looks at you. Do we know what spirits in particular we are going to be using, or is this...
I have no idea. That's not my realm.
The Lupines are very particular about the spirit they choose to follow.
Yeah, I really don't know. But if I can find out, I'll let you know.
I will ask the people I know as well then.
Thank you. Arthur, you look like you've seen a ghost.
No ghost. But it's a long story, so if you want to hear it now, I'll tell it, but it's going to take some time to explain.
Please.
A case that I was working with my sergeant, we were investigating a crime scene where 3 bodies had been uncovered in a construction site.
Was it downtown? That's the site where a node needs to go.
It took me active effort to get close to those bodies. Felt like I was, I don't know, something was pushing back against my just simple actions. The sergeant walked under the tape just fine. For me, felt like the tape weighed far more than something like that should. So something was keeping me out or trying its damnedest to.
A warding, perhaps.
Sergeant and I got down there, investigating the bodies. And then one of them grabbed his wrist, and all 3 of them, well, attacked. I hold up the sword. This appeared, and I cut them down. Or they turned into these, and I take out the little marble pebble things.
Lydia takes him.
After they broke, and I take out the letter. My sergeant was given this earlier in the day, and I hand it to you as well.
When I look at the letter, do I see anything?
Sigils, hieroglyphics, kanji, a mixture of different pictographic writing.
Is my prime sense picking up anything?
There's a magic there that isn't awakened magic. It's hedge magic.
Oh, that's fascinating. That's hedge work. She passes it to Anita.
He said something about Arcanum. And apparently that told him that I was a danger. So he confronted me about it, asked, what does that mean? And I only could reassure him that I'm not here to hurt anyone.
Can I see one of those?
Look familiar, Alistair?
I want to look at it with spirits.
Because I think I recognize these personally, but you weren't there at the time. Let me guess, bodies that look like bodies, maybe old.
Until they were clay.
Until they were clay.
They weren't supposed to be bodies that we found, though. I checked. That's not what we were supposed to find. We were supposed to find sarcophagi and a book. There was neither.
Fascinating.
When Anita looks at the letter, does she see the same thing that everyone else has seen?
Yep.
Okay.
Pictographs, hieroglyphics, kanji. There is a touch of the spirit world on the ink that Alistair picks up on. But otherwise, they're the same. It is just a collection of different pictographic writing.
The beads from the golems. Can I look at one of those with spirits?
Yeah. Whatever was attached to it is gone, but there is a trace of not just spirit, but life, matter, forces, and there's a remnant of blood.
Yeah, this is fucked up.
Yeah, they're golems.
Wait, like mythology?
Yes.
What mythology has these?
Are we sure I'm not still on drugs?
You're not. So I wonder.
Can I be?
No. Anita rubs her hand up and down like Alistair's back, and she's like, "Don't just you'll be better soon. Don't worry."
That's not all.
Oh, it gets better.
No. I wanted to call one of you and do this. I only could remember Lydia's number at the time, so I called.
When did you call?
I say the general time.
Is that about the time the phone rang?
Yep.
And there was a man at the payphone before me, and he was acting strange. I tried to commit his face to memory. I picked up the payphone, heard it ring once, and then everything dissolved into sparks, numbers, and letters. And then I was surrounded by downtown, warped, covered in spiders and spider webs.
He took you over.
And then I met Daniel Thatcher. I kind of, on impulse, swung the sword, which I dropped unceremoniously. He seemed to not be threatened by me.
So you didn't kill the bastard.
I was in no position. I was surrounded by him and a bunch of weird metal spiders. He told me that everything else he could account for except me. I don't know why. And then he said, help me end the world, essentially.
And
I
you
told-
told him to fuck off, right?
Yes. Why would I ever help someone end the world? And
Oh, I'm sure he
He's-
made it sound real altruistic, though.
no, he's not very convincing. He's pretty damn arrogant.
Indeed.
He seems to think that by removing the power of death, he will fix everything. And he said it's for, like, he wants the whole world awakened. I said, great, let it happen on its own time. And,
Oh,
That's the last thing he wants.
and yeah, he said something about,
oh no, he wants the whole world awakened so he can rule them all. He's a megalomaniac.
he said something about, like, everything would die except the dead. The dead were always constant and they were always a factor.
This vampire shit again.
No, he didn't say vampires. He said the dead. He said the vampires would
meant the
disappear
ghosts.
with everything else. And then he ripped a hole in that place, which I'm sure wasn't good for anything. I had to step through because the place seemed actively against me being there. And then I walked over here. Storyteller, you can pick any difficulty you want for this, but I'm going to roll stamina,
What are you trying to accomplish?
not throw up.
Oh, you're a cop. You're used to exertion.
I know.
So I'll make it difficulty 5. The sensation is there, like the mouth is full of saliva.
No successes, no failures. A 1 canceled it out.
The urge is there. The bathroom is within line of sight. You keep looking at it, but for now, it is on the periphery.
My grip
Yeah.
tightens on the hilt of the sword.
It is like a tide about to come in. So at some point, you will have to go to the bathroom.
Can I get anyone any tea?
No, thank you.
So that he's gonna need one too.
I'm sorry, you were cut out, Brad.
I'll take one.
Hmm.
And from the looks of Arthur, he might need one.
I'll take a tea as well. Thank you, Lydia.
No problem. Anyone else? And she looks around.
Bashir gets up. I'll help.
Thank you.
course.
How are all of our dear SPCs reacting to this?
Bashir, again, just looks like he's out of his gourd. Like he feels, and it's visible on his face. Like he doesn't understand what he's going to be able to bring to the table. The two twins, one of them is just smitten with Lydia. The other one is just kind of taking it all in, kind of making mental notes and formulating a plan in her head from the looks of it. So there are three very different mentalities at the table.
So Lydia and Bashir go into the kitchen. She brews up some more tea.
You tell him where things are. He's very helpful, and he takes a moment as the tea's brewing, just leans against the counter. You all seem very relaxed about what is happening. The future must be very different.
Yes. Future is very different.
I hope I'm still alive in the future.
You were.
I'm good.
Yeah, you were. And she takes down some cups for folks and starts pouring.
You seem familiar and yet very distant. Will I end up doing something to you?
You betrayed me.
I apologize for what I will do.
It's a chance it won't ever happen.
Time is very hard to understand.
But for me, it was 2 days ago. So, forgive me. I'm trying to be civil.
I am a stranger in your world that has done you wrong. I have to bear the crimes of a me that I don't understand. So,
No, you really don't. I'll get over it.
one says that, and rarely one means it, from what I have found. I will try not to follow in my footsteps.
Just don't align yourself with Daniel. Because you did.
He must have sold something very valuable to me then, because I barely know him.
Yeah.
At least now, I barely know him.
I don't know. I wasn't here until 84, technically.
Can so much happen in 3 years?
I don't know.
He takes his cup. At least you are starting to smile. That is progress, I think.
It is.
He grabs a couple of the other cups and takes them over to the Cardinals.
Yep. And she brings ones for Arthur and Alistair and Anita.
Arthur takes it but doesn't drink it.
Alistair will look over at him and push the cup like closer to him. Trust me, drink it.
It's good for nerves.
Maybe once my stomach settles.
It'll help with that
That's-
too.
Why I'm telling you.
There's a moment where this cabal is sitting for the first time united. The only one missing that you have reached out to is the matron. And in an instant, the apartment is gone. There's a flash. You can see that you're on the beach somewhere. And on the horizon is just corner to corner cloud, just gray, black death approaching, churning over the sea. But it's not a storm that you've ever seen. Reality is unraveling in its eye. Like a black hole, it's sucking everything in and destroying everything, unmaking it, taking it off of the loom of reality that you have come to call your tool. And then in that same instant, you're brought back to the apartment.
Did we all just experience that?
Alistair pushes the cup away and then immediately takes the cup away from Arthur.
It's not the
'Cause he
tea,
does-
I swear.
Yeah, Bashir sees that and he also pushes his tea
I
away.
swear it's not the tea.
I- Did the for Anita's purposes, did the beach look familiar? Or did it look like where she was with Mr. Saturday?
No.
Okay.
No. The only one that would familiarize themselves with it, that was familiar with it, would be Lydia. It looked like it was a beach down in Florida City on the way to Key West.
Okay, that looks like down close to the Keys.
It hits.
In the future, Homestead will be the most devastated when Andrew makes landfall, but it does come up through the Keys.
Yeah. There have been flashes of future coming through for us since we got here. And I think that's what that was. So I swear it's really not the tea.
Yeah, I'm just gonna down the rest of my tea.
Yeah. Ricardo downs his tea once he sees somebody else drinking. He's like, okay.
Oh yeah, no. Once Alistair sees Arthur guinea pig it and he doesn't like trip ass or whatever, then he'll
Yeah.
finish his.
There
Nope.
are no hallucinogenics in this house, okay?
Not anymore.
No. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, that's a whole ass thing.
I think I preferred the exploding radios.
Oh, we almost got one of those today.
Mm-hmm.
They still young.
And Bashir does kind of cock an eyebrow, trying to see if there's going to be any connotation that he can hold on to.
Basically, radios have been playing music from the future around us.
And then they like to go boom.
Well, they did for you. They didn't for me.
They really liked it.
The music I remember was very aggressive. the
Lydia
first
just
time.
kind of sits back and she's like, I have to laugh so I don't freaking cry.
With all due respect, I don't think I have the energy for either right now.
Okay, so we have a plan, which here
Yes.
kind of stands up. I'm going to ask the Lupines that I know, or at least their associates, and we will meet back here on the 14th then.
And I can see
Yeah,
on my end
morning of the 14th.
what I can do about the spirits.
All right. Well, it was nice to meet you. Look forward to whatever future we bring about.
Thank you.
He kind of, again, walks around and shakes everybody's hand. He lingers for a moment on Lydia, but he kind of nods and
She
walks
shakes his
out.
hand. Gives him a warm shake.
Yeah, his hand lingers in yours for a little bit
Mhm.
longer than anybody else. But the Cardinals kind of stick around for a bit. Once Teresa finds an excuse to leave, she'll start pulling on Ricardo. And the four of you are left alone again.
Well, like I said, based on what I was told and seeing what we just all apparently saw together, I don't think it matters what choice I make. So why not stick it out and try and fix this whole thing? So
Good.
Glad you're staying, Anita.
I mean, if you know, or you can always just be like, if you put my bags out on the lawns tomorrow morning, I'll just I'll take that as the get out.
My place is always a safe place for friends to land.
I had to joke because, as you said, it's either laugh or cry, but I don't think I would
Exactly.
cry. It's just this whole thing is kind of shitty.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like real shitty.
I'll admit, I hope I never have to meet Daniel Thatcher again.
Or at least kill him next time.
Oh
Oh, no, I'll
I-
take care of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say the next time we meet him, it's gonna be a barbecue roast. So
He specifically said that everyone else was accounted for, but I've never been here before. What does that mean?
Means you're new.
He's already dealt with us or accounted for us at some point in his fucked up little timeline.
Mm-hmm.
He also said that even if he stopped, the other versions of him wouldn't.
Of course not.
He seems very self-assured in what he's capable of.
Of course.
Which honestly, I don't know. If not for the awful environment he pulled me into, I would have been more pissed off than scared. Oh, sorry, I'm cursing again.
It's okay. That wasn't a curse.
Yeah, my mom just...
Well, Arthur,
No, but she
we're not
used
your
to
mom.
say, like...
I'm really not your mom.
No, I can tell that.
Take a breath, Arthur. Try to relax as best as you can. I know it's crazy. I know it's insane and stressful and scary. But we're in this together. You're not alone.
Here's to hoping I don't have arachnophobia now.
Well, if you do, it's okay. We can work on that too.
Or we can always, and Anita like waves her fingers at him. So
Storyteller, the man at the payphone, that wasn't Daniel, was it? That was someone else.
It looked like, thinking back on it, it looked like an older version of him.
I'll fill them in on that bit then, too.
Yep.
So there's more than one here.
At least for that moment there was.
Again, not my area of expertise, but is it possible he's collecting himself all here in this timeline?
That son of a bitch.
I mean, we all get one and then at least, so.
No, if he has multiple versions of himself in one place, that is like gigantic fucking paradox.
I mean, we did see existence unraveling.
And
Seems
that's
like an
probably
appropriate
why
reaction.
we're having this weird ass shit happen.
So we
It's
need
annoying
to
that we can't just deal with him now. We have to wait 2 days.
Well,
Oh, this is only phase one.
I was going to say can't we maybe it's not possible, but is it possible for us to start finding and killing the other versions of him? We only have to keep the one that is this time's version of him alive, correct?
Can you ask the person who sent you guys here?
Yeah, see, the last time I did that, or tried to do that, let's just say we need to use that trick card sparingly.
All right.
I don't know. I guess I'm just thinking if we're not really supposed to be here already, but he's got multiple versions of him already here, like why can't we kill them? Especially if he's doing things to actively hurt.
I would like to use time to see if we do that, what's the likely outcome? The expected outcome.
Ooh. Lydia does not have entropy.
No.
So
So it would have to be logical, predictable outcome.
yeah,
Mhm.
this would be a single avenue. So you wouldn't have access to
All the various ones.
the permutations, right?
Mhm.
So you're betting on one timeline. What specifically are you
If
looking
we
for?
basically focus on taking out the other versions of Daniel,
Hmm.
what will be the outcome of that?
Okay. That's a simple time 2. So it'll be a difficulty 5.
That is 4 successes.
Okay. Assuming that there is only one other Daniel extra, or 2 others aside from the one that's part of this timeline, killing any extra Daniels will here in this time period fix the fuckery that's happening with the radios. Hopefully it'll fix what's happening with the weather. But that's assuming there's only 2 others besides the prime Daniel that should be here.
I noticed someone was markedly absent tonight. let's go to the church.
As a warning, be ready for, I think she called them fairies.
That's fine.
Yeah, Arthur's just going along with people for right now. He's still a bit shell-shocked.
Yeah, got it. And you end up at the church, and you can hear that there's some kind of lively music being played inside. You can hear clapping and what sounds like a small gathering.
In the wee hours of the morning?
It's about 1:00, yeah. So it is weird.
Yeah.
But you're also not used to running. You guys don't run 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So
What day of the week is it?
I believe for you guys in 81, it is 12th. So it is Thursday.
Oh, thank God. I was so worried you were going to say Saturday.
It's not mass.
No. But Valentine's Day is on Saturday.
Mm. All right, we go in because obviously it's open.
Yep. And you can see the matron is nowhere to be found, but there is a priest. He's got the little father's collar on. He's at the pulpit. There are maybe 7 or 8 congregates just kind of like sitting in the front, clapping along. And there's 4 others that are playing. There's a drummer, a guitarist, a tambourinist, and somebody who looks like they don't have an instrument, and they're just kind of leading with hums and shouts and kind of exaltations and different phrases here and there. And immediately everything kind of stops when the doors open. And the priest looks over at you. Welcome.
Thank you. Is the matron in?
Oh, no, she's away.
Oh. That's unusual.
Can I help?
Well, that depends. Who are you?
I am a Father Andreas Barker.
Lydia's gonna check for signs of life.
Okay. You have your life focus. I don't think they count as sleepers, so it'll be a difficulty 5.
That's 3 successes.
Okay. The band is alive. Everyone else is not.
Where did the matron go?
Oh, she is up in Fort Lauderdale.
What are all these people?
Celebrants, people who are taking in the Lord and his works.
Is the priest alive?
No, the priest is not alive.
What are you?
Priest, you could say.
No, you're something else.
Could, won't.
I mean, I am a vessel for his word, but I don't go around proclaiming that. I'm just a man.
Storyteller,
Yes.
may I rely on my crutch and entropy check this man?
Please do.
Can Anita use matter to tell like what like the people in the room are made out of or whatever? Because I know matter can be used to differentiate between like a live body and a dead body or whatever. I
Right.
thought.
Right. Yeah, you have life and matter, so it's very simple to determine that the congregants and the priest are not alive.
Yeah,
That-
but I wanted to know what they were made, what they're like made of, if that was possible.
Oh,
like,
yeah. It's dead flesh.
Okay.
Dead flesh, musculature, and
one success for checking entropy.
it looks like they are no longer part of the wheel. So entropy kind of
Does it look
hits
like
and
it's
bounces
avoiding
off.
them, or it like stopped at a certain point?
It is avoiding them.
I would know how vampires react with that, right? Or
No.
would that be beyond? Yeah, okay.
No, this is your first time
Just making sure.
pinging a vampire.
Do you partake of the sacrament during this celebration?
Ours, yes, of course.
Well, then I'd like to participate. And she sits down.
Okay. And as everybody kind of starts to turn back around towards the priest is just looking at the rest of you. And would you like to join as well, or would you like to go up north to find the matron?
Oh yeah, sure. I love taking in religion at 1 a.m. So Anita sits down next to Lydia.
What about Alistair and Arthur? What are they up to?
Alistair will sit next to Anita, but very like quick to like bolt or something, because this all feels shady as fuck.
Yeah.
May I look around and do some investigation?
Yeah. What are you looking for?
Signs that someone was either bagged or shoved in a closet, or signs of struggle, or like, it's not crime scene investigation, but more just suspicion of crime scene investigation.
Sure. I'll let you roll a perception or intelligence against either investigation or alertness.
I'll do perception investigation because 8 dice seems like a useful pool.
Oh, yeah, sure do.
While Alistair is sitting here waiting for this, can I use Mind 2 to try and read? Because I'm looking at the 9 spheres, and it says with 2 you can get memories of objects or places.
Sure.
So I want to see if I can latch onto any sort of like memories of where we are right now and see if anything pops up about the matron, this vampire, any sort of fuckery.
Sure. Go ahead and roll your arete. Mind 2. Do you have a mind focus?
Let me double check. I know I have
Yeah.
time and I know I have spirits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just time and spirits and not for mind.
Okay. So that'll be difficulty 7 for you.
1 success.
Okay. The earliest memory you have is of them arriving, that you're picking up different pieces, different points of view as you're kind of trying to narrow down to one memory, but you're still kind of struggling with the crash. There's still that kind of need in the back of the mind to help you become what you recall being lucid. And so you're bouncing around and you're seeing it from different perspectives, but there is money exchanged. The matron is put in a car and is driven away, but they have the original people that gathered here were 3 of them, and then everybody else has kind of come in later.
Did what I saw of the matron, did it look like she left willingly.
Yeah, it looked like they exchanged money, and she was given a ride somewhere. It wasn't like she was forced to take the money and then being driven away. Like she held out her hands. And
Well,
took
you
it.
said money was exchanged. It was like they
Yeah.
could have robbed like the fucking offering plate. And
No,
then,
no,
like,
they gave
ass.
her money.
Okay,
Yeah, sorry.
so okay.
I never got a difficulty storyteller, but I am also spending a willpower on this roll.
Okay, so that's an automatic success. It's gonna be difficulty 6. You're falling back on your cop instincts.
Mhm.
So.
All right, then that's going to be 5 successes with the willpower.
Ooh, there are no signs of struggle anywhere, but you can see that the reliquary door is ajar, and there is that little bulbous eye kind of staring in your direction.
Can I? All right, I don't know how reading something that isn't human is going to go, but can I try and figure out if this thing is like scared or wants to help or what the fuck its deal is? Oh, weird goblin fucker.
Let me see. What do you have? Are you just trying to like do like a perception alertness, or are you using magic to?
No. Arthur's done with magic for a bit.
Okay, so yeah, perception alertness to see if you can read them, or let me see. Is there anything else that you could use? You could use streetwise alertness or occult with perception.
I'll do occult and perception.
Okay. Anita and Lydia see that after a moment, he waves the band away and they go over and they sit down off to the side. And then from a briefcase, he pulls out what looks to be a very elaborately designed and gaudy looking goblet. It is bronze because there's a little bit of patina on it, but there's jewels that are encrusting it. There's a kind of leather wrapping around it, and as he starts going into a sermon in a language you don't recognize, he passes the cup to one of his congregants, and you see them in front of you literally just grow a claw out of a fingernail. They pierce into their skin and they start to pour some of the blood into the goblet, and they hand it down, and you see them lick the wound and it kind of closes up on its own, but everyone is starting to put blood in the goblet.
As soon as they start doing this, I want to use Spirit 3 to rouse the spirit of the church.
Okay.
Damn, that's a thing you can just fucking do.
Yeah,
Holy shit, spirit.
Because once you get to the 3rd sphere, it breaks the game.
Yep.
And then the 5th spear breaks every game.
Yeah, it breaks reality.
For sure. What are you trying to rouse the church spirit to do?
Well, I mean, there are unholy abominations sullying the church.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Like this is a defend the church / eradicate
Vampires.
the unholy.
Okay. Do you
Because
have
I mean, in this, player knows in this worldview, vampires are a curse.
Yeah.
So
do you have a spirit focus?
yes, I do.
Ooh, okay. So it's gonna be 6. You have a focus, so it doesn't raise the difficulty. You're snap casting, so it just goes up to 7.
What was the difficulty on checking the Fey storyteller?
7.
7? All right.
Yeah.
Then this is going to be really exciting for me to say. 6 successes on 6 dice with a 10.
Nice. After having spent a nominal amount of time with this red cap, to the point that he tried to create a contract with you
I politely refused.
that you politely refused. He looks like he's in fear for his life.
Okay, then I'm
There is
going
nothing but dread in that eye that you can see, and he keeps kind of like eyeballing every single one of the members that are currently draining some of their blood into this goblet.
The next time his eye lands on me, I'm gonna give him a reassuring nod, like we're gonna help you out of this, bud.
Yep. That's gonna
And
go real well.
yeah, I'm sure. And then yeah, just adjust and get ready for shit to go down. And I am still relying more on the sword than the gun because I feel like that will somehow do more.
Sure. What did Alistair get?
2 successes.
2 successes. There's a moment where you hear the sound, everyone hears the sound of the church settling. Walls creak, the floor kind of bends and winds. And for an instant, there is this loud crash to one side. And in the world, a small vase on a pedestal kind of falls over, almost like if the pedestal had been knocked by something. In Alistair's eyes, though, he sees the pattern spider of the church coming through into the room, looking down at you and just kind of chittering with its mandibles. It is angry that it has been roused, and it looks at you for a moment, turns to these kindred that are in its space, and then it just starts to push them. And some of them you can see are becoming uneasy. They're starting to kind of find a space. They feel uncomfortable in the pews. And the priest looks over at you, and you see him pull the collar off and just starts to shake his head. And this is where we're going to go to break. I think this is a good spot. So we will see you guys in a few minutes. Ooh, boy. Well, we before we went to break, we left off with our group facing down what looks to be a Sabbat pack in a church, and that has frightened Maddox away for right now. So once he comes back, we'll see what happens to him. But the goblet stops being moved around. The father has removed his collar. Everyone is starting to stand up again. And the band at this point is like, well, we don't belong here. So we're just going to peace out. And they start to pack up and start to kind of back away from the situation. I'm going to let you guys roll for initiative to see what order we handle things, because there are a couple of you that can be really destructive.
How do you roll for initiative? Sorry.
Okay, so it's going to be 1 die, and then you're
Okay.
going to add to it the value of whatever your dex and wits is.
Dex and wits.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is a 16.
Oof. Oof.
I rolled a 10.
Yeah, I
That'll
got 12.
do it. 16.
I
let's do
rolled an 11.
Rolling for initiative, Arthur.
Anita.
Apologies.
Yep, so
Yeah,
roll a
that's
d10 and then add it to your dex plus wits.
Yeah, the value of your dex and wits.
Okay.
And 1d10.
I bet I continue my streak of WAD 20 games of always being the last to go. So
No? Well, no, yeah, 11 is lower than 12.
yeah.
I mean, they'll go last.
10.
10. No.
Arthur goes last.
Woo.
Honestly, it makes sense.
Yeah.
He's
kind
not,
of in
he's
shock.
He's not doing good.
Yeah.
He just learned that there's alternate realms. Like everyone says it, but he saw one.
Yeah. And it
Yep.
kind of messed him up.
You know,
Hmm.
part of me
Yeah.
is thinking of taking flaw phobia for spiders at this point, but I don't know yet. We'll see how helpful the spider that is currently fighting the vampires will be for
I
us.
mean, it's not fighting; it's just making them uncomfortable. But Lydia starts us off. So, you have a bevy of spheres available to you
I do.
that can be very disruptive
Yes, I do.
to Kindred.
Yes, I do. I'm currently looking at my bevy of spheres to see which ones I want to pull out to play first.
Yeah.
I have a plan, but we'll need to see how it goes.
So you are, just so everyone is aware, you are still in the real world. So there will be paradox, but these supernaturals don't count as sleepers. The band does, but I have
Extricated them.
from the scene. So just know that vulgar stuff is still in play, and there will be paradox for it, but it will be less paradox.
Honestly, vulgarity seems secondary to surviving right now.
Welcome to Mage.
So I'll take my lumps because I feel it's gonna happen this fight.
Yeah.
I am going to actually go straight for the priest.
Okay.
I am going to do a psychic pain blast using mind and matter.
Okay.
You don't mind, it don't matter.
It don't matter.
And you know what?
Alright.
Can I add some prime to make that blast permanent?
I mean, yeah. Why are you adding matter to it though?
Because he's a vampire.
Oh, yeah. That doesn't.
I
mean
can
that you
use
need
life
matter.
instead.
No, it's just mind. If you're just attacking his mind, then you just need.
Oh
mind.
no, psychic pain blast. Okay, yeah, okay, sure. But
Yeah.
but can I add prime to it to make it permanent so like it does
Oh.
damage each round?
Yeah.
My
So
God.
Like a dot.
the prime will elongate it, so it's not just a one round thing. So you're gonna roll your arete, and then you're gonna choose what successes to go to damage and what successes to go
Got
to
you.
duration. It is a mind 3 effect, so it's gonna be a difficulty 6 starting. You have a mind focus, so that doesn't raise the difficulty. But you are snapcasting, so it bumps it up to 7.
I am going
and
to
I will
spend a
rem-
willpower for a success.
Okay, and I will remind you that you can always use quintessence to lower the difficulty on any magical effect.
Let's go for it. I'll use one.
Okay, you can use more than one in a turn, but if you're happy with one,
Says
Oh yeah,
the-
that's 4 successes.
okay,
So we're going to divvy them up. It's going to be 2 for the impact and then 2 for the duration.
okay. So one success will, because you're infusing it with prime, one success is the only thing necessary for the scene. So I will tell you that putting 2 successes means that this guy's going to be suffering for at least 2 days.
Okay.
Okay.
If he walks away, he's
Utilizing
going to
these
feel it.
spheres.
Yeah. So 2 successes for mind damage means that he takes 4. It is lethal. He can't soak it unless he has fortitude. He doesn't. Do Setites get fortitude in
No.
20? No.
Nope.
So no, he does not. I was just trying to remember if they do or not.
Shame there's no snakes around. He could do something then.
Yeah. So he immediately just doubles over, holding his head, and just collapses back. And everyone is now turned their attention to you. But that brings us to Alistair.
I think I'm going to resort to one of my favorite Alistair things he's ever done in a Mage game.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull out my Zippo,
Here we go.
and redirect fire at the priest.
Oof. All right. So,
Hope you didn't like this
Alistair.
setite.
you know,
Does anyone like a Setite, really?
No.
honestly, I felt dirty when I was coming up with the character sheet. I was just like, oh, who plays Setites? But I know people
Damn.
do. I know people do. Don't come at
That's
me.
shade.
Oh, come on. There's no one who understands how much they're distrusted more than the people who play them.
right?
This is true. Okay, so that's gonna be a forces 2. You don't have prime, so this is just gonna last for the round.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. I like that. That's fine. We learned that the priest doesn't have fortitude, so all of whatever you roll for damage is damage that he's just gonna take. So go ahead and roll your arete. It's gonna be difficulty 5. You have a forces focus.
I don't think so. I think it's just time and spirit.
Okay, so that's gonna raise the difficulty to 6.
Yeah.
Stamp casting and raises it again to 7.
What gives you a focus in a sphere? I don't know if I have any of that.
Once you get to 2, you're allowed to take a focus in a sphere, because that's when you're starting to understand that sphere.
Okay.
And every arete point that you have gives you an avenue. So that's the main umbrella, and then it goes down to whatever is at least 2 dots in it gets a focus.
And you said I can spend what to add successes?
So you can use a willpower point to add an automatic success, and you can use a quintessence point to lower the difficulty. You can use a number of quintessence up to your arete rating.
Okay. I will use 1 willpower for an extra success to give me 3.
Okay. So forces is one of the spheres that is unwieldy and really is what makes mages powerful. Had you been at a 3rd level sphere, you would have multiplied all your damage by 3. So you got 3 successes. So he takes 6 aggravated damage and turns to ash.
Damn. Some pack leader he turned out to be.
Yeah. You know, not everybody runs around with fortitude, Maddox.
Yeah, not everyone's smart.
Because fortitude is where it's at, y'all.
Fortitude. Fuck.
Everyone thinks it's only useful for bullets.
No. That brings us to Anita. The ringleader is ashed in front of you. There is just the clicking noise of a Zippo that opens up, that scratch of the flint being lit by Alistair, and then instead of the flame coming up out of the little pot, literally it engulfs the priest and then just sets him down, and he ashes to just a pile in a humanoid shape in front of all of you, and everyone gasps at that.
Oh. This seems like a good time to test something. If I have my familiar, does my familiar help me with casting? Or is that...
The familiar is level 2, so not really.
Okay.
It's
mind.
just there to eat paradox.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna. So if I use a willpower, that's an automatic success, correct?
Automatic success.
Okay, so I'm gonna use a willpower.
Perfect.
I'm going to like put my hands up above my head and start forming like the sunball type thing, just kind of basically just like the like flashbang the room with the sun. So
the Goku Spirit Bomb.
Yes.
Lydia puts her sunglasses on.
Yeah, Arthur's definitely like, oh fuck, that's bright. Ow.
And I will spend a point of quintessence to lower the difficulty.
Okay, so you're summoning a bit of sunlight into the room, is what you're doing?
Yeah, I have a focus for forces.
Yep, the tattoo. So. The forces 3. It's going to be a difficulty 6. You have a focus, so that keeps it at 6. You're snap casting, so it bumps it up to 7.
Mhm.
But you're spending a quintessence, so that brings it back down to 6. You've used the willpower points, so you already have 1 success. Are you using Prime to give it a duration, or do you just want it to be a instantaneous thing in your turn? I will give you a spoiler. You don't need to keep a duration.
No, I was going. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about Prime for this. I just wanted to try and do it. So
Okay. So that's going to be a difficulty 6. Roll your arete.
actually, you know what? I've got all this willpower. I'm gonna spend 2 willpower because I don't trust that I'm gonna roll well. So
Okay.
2 successes plus the 2 willpower, so that's
4
successes.
Okay, so immediately, all of the vampires in the room, except for those with fortitude, and there's 2 of them. That didn't soak anything. And that didn't soak enough either. So all of the vampires, the 8 other Sabbat pack members that were in this church, there is a bright flash of light like the sun suddenly opened up above Anita's head. And all that's left is just the humanoid mounds of ash where each vampire was standing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
I was worried at
Immediately-
first, but this is just gorgeous.
yeah. So
I love
Anita,
you
immediately
guys.
Alistair has that sense of like what is it, like not performance anxiety, but in just not measuring up because he killed 1 and she killed 8.
yeah. So the drawback to all of this is that Lydia takes 1 point of paradox.
Okay.
Alistair takes 2 points of paradox. And Anita takes 3 points of paradox. But you have destroyed an entire Sabbat pack
In 1 round.
in 1 round. Just in case anyone was ever wondering where mages stack up on the hierarchy,
It's way above vampires.
especially ones that don't have fortitude.
Yeah.
So there's 2 left, you said?
No, they're all dead.
Oh,
They didn't
you
soak.
got past the fortitude. Lol.
No. Anita rolled 4 successes, so times 3 is 12 total damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't
There
survive
was,
that.
there was no fortitude high enough to give me 5 successes to even stay at 7. So yeah, all of them are vaporized.
Whoosh.
Sorry for the tans, everyone.
Yeah,
But
if you
that
weren't
seemed to be
tan,
the
you do
fastest way.
have a little touch of olive to your skin now.
It's
I will say, Lydia takes off the sunglasses and she looks like she's got the reverse raccoon eyes.
Yep. Just a little difference.
Yeah.
Alistair is standing there with a Zippo and is just a lot less pale than he normally is and is hating life.
Can I actually rush over to where I saw the little dude?
Yeah.
Check on him?
He is holding his eye and he's just cursing in what must be some Fey language.
Hey, you good? You all right? You hurt?
And he backs away from you. He's like, yeah. What? Oh my, whew. What was that?
Don't really know. My guess is sunlight if these were vampires.
Yeah, they were.
Good to confirm. You sure you're okay though? I
Yeah,
can
now,
help.
Now that they're dead, yeah. They're order. And he's trying to rub the sparks out of his eyes.
I don't think this church is very safe for you anymore, pal.
Nope. Time to go home. And he goes, opens the wardrobe, pushes the clothes aside, and you can just see this portal to Narnia
Just like a tunnel into the wardrobe.
into the wardrobe, and he starts to climb in.
Have a good one.
Okay, bye.
My man.
I'll actually go and shut the wardrobe and stare at it for a second.
Okay.
Lydia's going to go into that. She's going to follow behind Arthur Looking
You're
at
in a
the-
reliquary.
And it's in her office, basically.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a little different than when you remember it
Yeah.
being. There's a lot less collection of what she had. There's not as many pictures, but you also notice that there's a lot less lived-in quality. Like, this looks like this is a recent assignment for her.
she's looking on the desk to
And-
see if there's like a notepad or pens or anything like that.
There is, yeah.
Okay, Lydia's going to write a note to her. We took care of your suspicious guess and the little guy in the wardrobe. Won't bother you anymore.
Like, while she's looking around that office, Alistair, yeah, so before the bonfire, they paid her off,
Mhm.
and she left.
The spider is still there, and it's pointing at a corner of the dais, the kind of pulpit area,
Mhm.
and it is angrily just kind of rubbing.
Alistair will look where it's pointing.
There's a tear, but it's not into the umbra. There is energy that is seeping out of it. It looks like something tore it from this side. But on the other side of the hole, there is a vibrancy, a greenery. You can hear laughter, singing, soft, and then the distant.
Alistair will point it out to everybody, and while everyone looks at that suspicious shit, I am going to lull the spirit.
Okay. Yeah, and everybody else looks to where Alistair is pointing, and there is a corner of the building.
What's
nothing
what's
there for the
over
rest of
there,
you.
Alistair?
Nobody else has spirit.
Mm-mm.
Oh fuck. My best guess from I think there's a portal to a different realm that got tore open.
Can you patch it up?
I don't think I can.
What if we helped?
I
Can
don't
we
think
do
that's
that?
How
Can
that
we-
works.
Can we use our stuff in tandem?
Mhm.
You
Well,
can.
that's useful.
We certainly can.
So here's the thing about that.
I love how that sentence started.
So as far as I can tell, being the only person, actually, no, before I lull the spirit, I'm going to see if the spirit can like loan me like power or something and help me, because I'm not strong enough to close the breaches on my own. To see if he can help me close it with their help, and then he can go back to sleep.
Okay. The spider shifts down so that it's about your size. So it's not this massive monstrosity anymore. And you feel that it is trying to strike a bargain with you. It wants something from you. And honestly, he's pointing at Anita, and he's pointing at Arthur. And not so much Anita, but more like the red fox that's with her.
So it's like they won something from the avatars, not from us.
I mean, the red fox is a familiar, so it's a
Or
spirit.
familiar. Sorry.
And whatever it
Um,
wants from Arthur, it's probably attached to the sword.
Alistair will say, take it from me. Just because he's the one that I feel like has to make the deal, but without knowing exactly what he's walking into, I don't think he can make that deal for anybody else.
Okay. It shrugs, like asking if you're sure about that.
I will shake my head no. I'm not sure, but it probably needs to be done.
And it shrugs again, like, okay, well, you asked for this. And
The mental image of a spider shrugging is bizarre.
Yeah. It is going to eat both of your quintessence.
Okay.
And deal 2 points of willpower damage to you. So it just eats up 2 points of your willpower.
Like permanent or temporary?
No, temporary.
Okay.
But it gives you a conduit to use. So you are considered to have spirit 4.
Okay.
For this endeavor.
Then I can close it on my own then.
Okay.
Like if anybody wants to help, they can help, but
Yeah.
I
Does
feel
anything have to
more-
be combined with it to make it close? No? Okay.
Prime would be good. So it's permanent.
Would entropy help in any way?
Lydia will come and she'll say, how about I make it permanent while you focus on healing it? And then
probably a better idea.
yeah, and she'll basically, while he's doing it, she'll infuse Prime into it.
Okay. So now we're going to go into an extended roll because this will require a kind of ritual. So everyone involved will have to roll your arete for every hour that you're spending on closing this rift. So how long does Alistair think it's going to take?
I haven't even the fucking slightest idea how.
I
long
will
this
tell
take.
you that you need at least 12 successes total from whoever is involved in this.
It's late, but an hour? Would that be a decent amount of time?
Fuck no.
No, it's going to be closer to like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I'm in it for the long haul.
I was gonna say, and I was gonna say Anita was going to help as best she could. So
Okay.
So
Yeah.
there's going to be 4 of us doing it. So I would say like 3 hours should.
Yeah,
Be
3 hours
safe?
should be safe.
Okay.
Okay.
I got 2
So-
on my first roll.
2 on the first roll. And
what's the-
now, just so everybody's aware, botches count to the pool, not to your individual rolls.
And what's the difficulty?
6.
So
Alright.
I'm taking a picture of this because I've literally never had this happen in the entirety of my life.
I like it.
3 6s.
Hey,
I rolled one
Hey.
success.
Okay, so that's
I-
3. So
I
you're
got
at 6
two
so far.
success. I got 2 successes.
Okay. Puts
2
you at
more.
8 for the second hour.
Yep.
Brings you to 10.
I got 3.
I got 2 successes and 1 botch,
Okay.
or 1
So-
1.
I got
I got 2 7s and a 1. Is that actually a
So
botch
that's
then, or
1
no?
success.
No, that's 1 success.
Okay, 1 success.
I-
then.
in a similar reaction. I also have 1 more success.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
I got 1 more.
So after, unless everybody botches in this third hour, you should have accrued enough to seal the breach.
I got 3 2 1, no botches.
Okay.
And I got 2 on my third roll.
I got 1
Excellent.
success.
2
Excellent.
more as well.
Perfect. No botches. So that brings the breach to a close. You can hear, all of you now start to feel the energy exchange that's been happening between the spider and Alistair. You can start to hear the sound of the laughter. You can feel the warmth from the other side of this breach. And as it starts to close and the sensations start to fade, and become more of a distant memory of what was here, everything comes to a very still and quiet moment. And then the church churns, almost like when Alistair awakened the spider in the first place. And about 20 years of aging happens to the church almost instantly. Cracks, paint fades. Some of the pews look wobbly. The floor could use some work. But now the office, the reliquary, matches what Lydia remembers of it. And it feels like this had been set and anchored in a different time period. And now you've released it from that lock. Alistair, Arthur, and Lydia, the only ones with time. So for you three, it's very jarring. For Anita, it's a moment of blink, and it is what it has always been for you.
Wow. And I thought seeing 8 people turn to dust in front of me was going to be the weirdest thing.
Speaking of which, we should clean that up.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
there a broom and dustpan?
Don't worry about cleaning it up. Anita, with like Forces 1, can't I just have like a little bit of wind kind of blow through and kind of just scatter them, the ashes?
Yeah, Forces 2 is when you start to really shift things. But yeah, your Forces 3, so it's easy. And windows open up, a breeze comes through, and you just see the little mounds just kind of scatter over the whole of the floor itself. Some of it falls between the cracks into the foundation beneath. Some of it just kind of scatters like a dirty floor.
Hey, it makes cleaning your house easy. I assume my familiar probably chittered something to me or something, some sort of a hint of what was asked about by the spider. So Anita's gonna give Alistair a hug just because she doesn't know the details, but yeah.
Yeah, the red fox in your mind tells you that that there was a spider that wanted to eat some of its essence, which in spiritual terms is not dangerous, but it can be if it's kind of like vampires feeding for the first time. You don't know where the stop is, so it can be dangerous, but Alistair took it upon himself. So
All right, well, let's get out of here.
Gotta admit, things feel way more controlled when I'm with others for this sort of stuff.
Ain't that the fucking statement of the century?
There's a reason you have your coven, so
Yeah. I'm also just happy that it wasn't creepy metal electric spiders this time.
I mean, there kind of was, but he was less electric this time, but whatever.
yeah, if you wanna describe the spider to Arthur.
Oh God! Yeah,
Oh.
that'll be your vengeance.
It was made of stone and girders. The legs.
So it basically looks like it's made out of the stuff like this church would be made out of.
Yeah,
like,
the legs itself and the mandibles were made of stained glass, though. Just kind of.
I was gonna say, I
a
imagine the
rainbow of
fucking eyes were
Kaleidoscopic.
kaleidoscopic, like
easily.
yeah. But I definitely play up like how vicious the thing looked
And the
while
fact
I'm
that it probably
explaining it to Arthur.
and it still moved like a regular ass spider, which
Yeah,
is so
and this
unsettling.
thing was fucking huge. And like I'm just gonna keep that mental note in the back of my head. Whenever Arthur is annoying the piss out of me, I'm gonna tell him the spider's following him.
Yeah, there's a second where he's just staring at Alistair, and then everyone sees like a shiver go through him.
At least it's not a snake on his shoulder.
Or in your pants.
Well,
Hey,
hey, I mean, you're with a Cult of Ecstasy member, so maybe later.
Nah. Virgin and proud. No, he's not. Well,
Yes,
Straight
he is,
edge.
but no, he's not.
he's a virgin.
He's seen the books.
He's seen the book. He read the Kama Sutra.
The moment the Cabal intends to step foot out of the church, there's another whoosh of a moment as all of you are pulled away. But you're not on the beach anymore. You're on a lakeside. It's a calm lake. Goes and stretches out beyond the horizon almost. And at its farthest point, you can see a flock of geese. One larger than the rest, all in black. To one side, there is a forest of trees. And almost at the edge of the horizon, you see one taller, gnarled, thicker trunk of a tree. There's a castle on a hill overlooking the lake on the very edge. And you can hear what sounds like a dragon roar. And coming up out of the water is a knight. And its scabbard is empty. And it holds it out towards the group. And then it starts to collapse. The armor rusts. The joints freeze. It falls over. The tree in the distance topples. The forest dies, and it's just a gnarled graveyard of wood. The castle collapses into the lake, and the swans all fly into the horizon away from everyone. And there is a moment where all of you almost know that this is a bad omen. And as you're brought back to the downtown street, you don't feel it anymore. The breeze feels static. The concrete doesn't feel like it is cushioned the same anymore. The atmosphere, the very, what's it called? The very barometric pressure of the city itself feels oppressive to you. And in that moment, all of you feel like the avatar has been ripped from you. And this is what we're going to call it for tonight. I can things.
fuck you, Will.
Things are going to get very interesting next session.
Not fuck Will, fuck Daniel. Jesus Christ. Or
Oh, well,
no, Gaines. Sorry, wrong.
Next session, instead of magic, we're just gonna have to get our gats out. So
I've got a 9mm.
Yeah, Beretta. But yeah, thank you guys for being part of this and for joining me tonight. And thank you to the audience for participating in this. You got to see a little bit of how frightening mages can be. And we're going to see how resourceful they can be as we move forward.
I'm giving him my "you are sus" storyteller look.
What's that quote from one of the Godfather movies? Every time I think I'm out and they pull me back in.
Pull me back in.
And now I'm playing a hunter game and I didn't even know it. Fuck.
At least I got a sword already.
There's a reason I play supernaturals and not mortals, okay?
Because Because mortals are squishy and vulnerable?
Because mortals are boring.
That too.
The avatar is gone. You still have Arete. You still have your spheres. It's just gonna be a real crapshoot casting magic.
Yeah.
So,
More of a
you're still
crapshoot.
you're still supernatural.
Yeah,
Just-
but fucker
it's one of those-
took her swan.
Yeah, no, I was kind of getting attached to that knight.
yeah.
Oh, fucker took his family.
Yeah.
It ain't the dragon anymore.
That goes for Anita too, since yeah.
Yeah.
All right, looks like we're all on a different warpath.
Oh
now.
yeah, we're gonna kill some motherfuckers now. Fuck what Wrinkle wants.
Drowning Pool's Bodies hasn't come out yet. but it's
Murder
about to hit
hobo.
Miami anyway.
I'm the murder hobo. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight for Mage. Oh my gosh. Crazy session. I love Will running Mage because I never know what's going to happen. He literally throws me for a loop every damn time.
Yeah, my fucking head hurts.
So if you enjoyed this game, go on ahead and join us on our Discord because everyone here was cast in this game on our Discord. That's where we cast our games from. So watch out because I know there will be a casting call posted very soon for a demon one-shot. Yeah. So if you want to sit at our virtual table and play games with us, you need to be in our Discord community. And you can catch up on back episodes on our YouTube channel. And you can also check out what our wonderful European GM Tiss runs with her D&D stream that she ran with us for quite some time, and that's called Ishbel. And then right now she is currently running a Call of Cthulhu campaign called London Esoteric Society. You can check out the videos of her set games on the Ishbel YouTube link. And check out our friends. They're now in chat on Twitch. Right, we've got two right here at the table. Ravnos Archon, what you got going on?
Ooh, I have my own vampire V5 game that I run on Mondays. It's a dual storyline following a Camarilla and an Anarch pack, revolving on 2 different days. I'm running Mage on Tuesdays here. Otherwise, I would run a Werewolf of the Wild West game or an L5R game, Legend of the Five Rings game. And Fridays, I am running Dungeons and Dragons every other Friday because my Star Wars came to an end. But this Friday is going to be special, but I'm going to let you handle that.
Yes, I will get to that in the schedule. And Ivy Raven also streams. Tell us what you got going on.
I have a virtual YouTuber for Destiny 2. I mostly stream Destiny 2, but I am trying to also stream other stuff if schedules align with other individuals. But yeah, I'm also trying to get back into streaming more often. I'm kind of in a better place now, so hopefully that will happen.
Yay. All right. And if you enjoyed this session, show us your biddies. Support the players at this table. And honestly, that I won't get any of those. It's going to go to everyone else at this table if you give us biddies. If you subscribe or give to our KoFi link that's in chat, that'll go to support the studio. But biddies and donations go straight to the players. And coming up over the next week, we have Friday, a special one-shot run by Unconscious Celestial. She plays Pontifex Helena Taylor in Windy City After Dark. It freaks out Brad every time. Yep, so she is running Visigoths versus Molgoths. And that is going to have me, Ravnos Archon, Ivy Raven, Shanky, my husband, and Lanhi in it. So you'll want to tune in 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday. Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern is a special session of Vampire the Masquerade. Bloodied Fields. It is a new serial or miniseries run by Shanky. It's not tied to Windy City After Dark directly. Join a cast of all new faces, basically, for our vampire content. You'll want to check that out Saturday at 3 p.m. It's called Bloodied Fields. Y'all, I got spoilers on the plot, and yo, it's going to be intense. Check it out Saturday. And then on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, we have Windy City After Dark. We are getting close. Getting close. I don't even know what's going to be going on. Last session was insanely intense. We recorded it on Thursday, so I have no idea what we're doing yet. But right now, Isabel is missing. So, because Red's off getting married and stuff. So, yeah. Congrats to her. But yeah, so join us Sunday as the coterie tries to figure out which end is up now at 5 p.m. Eastern. And then on Tuesday, we will be back here with the next installment of Neon Hurricane, Season 4, final season of Mage. And we at McStabber Studios are big, big supporters of taking care of yourselves, including your mental health. So if you are in crisis, please seek assistance, reach out to folks, or if you feel like you can't do any of that, right now in chat, there are numbers that you can call or text for crisis support. And if you are outside of America, there is a link for Find a Helpline where you can access crisis line resources in over 140 countries. So please, get the help you need, because mental health is part of physical health. You can't have one without the other. So they work together. And of course, I'm a McStabber and a registered nurse. Timber Brad here is also a registered nurse. We're going to tell you. Oh, and he's muted.
Not muted.
I don't know what's going on then.
I heard him just fine.
I heard him.
I didn't hear him.
I didn't hear him until he said I'm not muted.
Yeah.
So
Oh no, I
Oh,
heard him.
That's
Whole time.
really
I was gonna
weird.
say,
Say it
I
again.
wasn't-
Say it again, Brad.
get your damn shots.
Get your goddamn shots.
Get your goddamn shots. They didn't hear you in Twitch. So
It's a shame he sang it. It was great.
get your damn shots. Please, please, please get your vaccines. Get your flu shot and your COVID bivalent vaccine. You can get them both at the same time. Please get them. If you are out of date on your polio vaccination, please get your polio vaccine updated. If you qualify for monkeypox vaccination, please go get that. Please, because it's still a thing. Oh yeah, and Ebola's making its rounds in some places now, so that might be a new thing. Yeah. As if COVID wasn't enough, we need Ebola as well. Yay. Y'all, I just can't. I just can't. I'm so glad I don't work in hospitals anymore. I'm just saying. Yeah. So we are 2 weeks. No. 1 week? 2 weeks. 2 weeks from Election Day. I had to remember when Election Day was. I do mail in, so I do mine early. But seriously, 2 weeks away from election, Republicans have lost their fucking minds. They really have. Moderate Republican politicians are considered rhinos by them now. They're basically ousted. It's all the fanatics, and they want to take away people's rights. And I'm not doing that as fear-mongering. They have literally told people what they're going to do. They are going to federally ban abortions without exceptions. They are going to criminalize exposing children to anything that isn't heterosexual. That is absurd. They want to repeal gay marriage. They want to repeal all kinds of shit. Please. Oh, yeah, and they want to take away Medicare. I'm just saying. So, yeah, no. Please vote blue. If your rights aren't in question, others that you know are. So please vote to protect everyone if you can. And fuck Putin. Oh yeah, and fuck China. Heard about that shit recently, yeah. Yeah, and fuck Iran's government. Yeah. They got hacked. That was funny. They got fucking hacked. Because yeah, they basically got hacked and fucked around with for it because they are murdering political prisoners that should not be murdered. So yeah, they're being blackmailed now. And that's good times in Iran. And don't be a douche in your communities. Seriously, support one another. If we support each other, we all rise. So don't be a douche in your communities. Said with love. We'll see you next week.
Gatekeeping, only archways.
Only archways, that's right. So with that, I'm going to close us out. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night.